Hi, welcome to today's video. It's been a week or two since I last posted a video. I've been quite busy with other activities. The building work is progressing on the coal merchant or depot type thing that I'm building. Obviously I've been a little bit more work on some of the other buildings, but I've also been busy on some of the other activities I do with the Merseyside area group, which is based at Log in Liverpool, or Liverpool O-Gauge group. And I recently was demonstrating the demo plank, which is this one here. And on this we can see we've now got the ESP32. And this particular module is demonstrating the MCP23017, which will give us more I/O pins on the ESP32. I've also recently updated the example file for the 2 servo 8 input 8 outputs. Now this will also need to be added to this sketch, because on this one there was a slight bug in the original 2 servo sketch which the ESP32 threw up. This has now been resolved, so we now need to work on this particular sketch, and I'm going to show you that now within JMRI. So even though I'm going to be using the Arduino Nano for my layout, obviously within the Merseyside area group and in the wider field, people have been saying about the ESP32 being the best way to go, hence why I've been spending some time on that. So it's slowed me down a little bit, but now I'll show you the latest version of the sketch in JMRI. So here you can see in JMRI we've got the ESP32 2 servo 8 I/O sketch. Now this is the one that's just been added to the GitHub repository, and there's only a slight difference. What we've done here, at this point here, we've added the save servo positions. Now before they had the hard coded and we had it set so it would save. In this case I've got it set to save every 30 minutes. Now you might say, well, that's a strange number, 190, but what we have to do is go 190 times 190 and then divide that by 60, and that gives us the number of minutes that it would take for the memory to be, or the EEPROM to be updated. Now it'll only update the EEPROM if the servo position had changed. So that was something we needed to bring in. The other issue we were having compared to the Arduino Nano version of the sketch, on startup the servo was not going to the 90 position as we wanted it to, which took us a little while to look into why this was happening, and we found out what the issue was David Harris did, and we've now corrected that. So we've been sort of happy now to release that version onto GitHub. Now I'll show you in the next example what we've got for the ESP32 with the MCP23017. So here you can see we've got the ESP32 2 servo and 24 I/O. Now you'll notice here we haven't got the save period for the EEPROM. I'll say that will get added when we do the merge of the file, because at the moment this has still got the slight bug with the servo starting off in the 90-degree position down here. So this is the same. Now what we've got here is something called native I/O. Now on the ESP32 we've set up 8 pins that can be either input or outputs. So we haven't defined them at this stage. You define them when you configure it to what you want. Now in this case we can do this with pins 14, 27, 26, 32, 15, 4, 16 and 23. So as per the previous sketch, you had the usual options down here, which you've seen me talk about in other videos. Obviously you can use the slider for doing flashes and everything else. Again, you can only teach this node to one event, so That will get changed possibly later on in another version of a sketch where we sort of dedicate it for just outputs maybe. But as we scroll down, we've now got a new section called MCP23017 IOs. And you'll see here we've got port A and port B. And then we've got port IDs from 0 to 7. So we've got 8 pins available to us. Now again, you can give them a description. We've got exactly the same options available to us here. So, these will work the same. And I've tested this, and up to now I'm very pleased with the way this is going. But obviously, with us changing the previous sketch, there's a few things I need to go through with David to sort of make sure I get them changes brought over. So hopefully you'll see a little bit more of this being demonstrated. Some people have already seen this being shown last week at our face-to-face meeting. So they've seen it actually working as outputs. At the time I didn't try the test the inputs with them at that stage because it was just a quick opening demonstration for them. Another thing we have been working on is a special interest group for LCC within MERG. So the LCC obviously is just starting up, and here you'll see we have a disclaimer because obviously LCC is not officially supported or endorsed by MERG, although several MERG members have contributed to the development of the layout control bus. So there's certain things here, obviously we're hoping to have some guest speakers coming to talk to us, hopefully from the commercial side of things. Obviously I know we've got Andrew Crossland, who's a member of MERG, but is also the person or one of the people behind SPROG LCC and SPROG DCC. So hopefully that will be good, and hopefully we're going to have a meeting soon. It's planned for basically the 1st of July, so obviously MERG members will be able to join in. We are limited to 100 members joining at the time, but the recordings will be made available for MERG members. Edited versions might be made available to the Group IO for LCC. This will have to be decided later on. Anyway, at this point, I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you again for all the people who have liked and subscribed to the channel over the last few months. It's nice to see we are growing. I believe it's now up to 963 or 65 members. So once again, thank you for all the people who have supported me in the development of this channel.